guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about weighted mean, or you can also call it weighted average. So weighted mean, okay, or average. And an average, usually you would take like a bunch of numbers, you would add them up and divide by a number of numbers. Now with weighted mean and average, different aspects are worth different amounts. So a very prominent example is course marks, in which different assessments can be worth different amounts in the student's final grade in the course. So for example, maybe a test can be worth 40%, or maybe an assignment can be worth 5%, so it's not as important in the grand scheme of the marking. And then the exam can be worth, say, 55%. So the exam is something that the student needs to focus more on because it is worth a greater chunk of the student's mark. So with weighted mean and average, there's a formula, right? This is like the weighted mean, okay? And that is going to be equal to the sum. So the sum of W subscript I times X subscript I is equal to 1, and all the way to N. Okay, I'll show you what that looks like when you expand that. And then the bottom part, also a sum. I starts at 1 and all the way to N. And here we have W subscript I. So as you can see, I goes all the way from 1 all the way to N for both the numerator and denominator. So if I was to write this out, my weighted mean would basically be equal to the sum, right? This is a summation symbol. The sum of Wi, Xi, like all the way from, starting from W1, X1, right? We're starting at 1. And then add W2, X2, right? W3, X3, W4, X4, and you keep adding that, so keep adding that all the way until Wn, Xn, so Wn, Xn, just like this. Okay, because we have a summation symbol here, we have to add them all up. And now for the denominator, we are also summing up. Here we are instead summing up the W's, right? So starting from W1 all the way to Wn. So W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4 plus W5, W6, all the way to Wn. So here we are also summing things up because of the summation symbol here. So now you may ask, what does W mean and what does X mean? Well, W represents the weight, okay? While X represents the data value. So for example, let's say you were trying to calculate a course mark, right? And let's say a test was worth, let's say, 40% of the student's final grade in the course. So the 40%, right, the test is worth 40%, that would be the weight. And let's say the student earned a mark of 80% on that test. So the student scored 80 out of 100. So that 80 out of 100 would represent the data value. Alright, so let's say a given student takes a given English course and earns the following marks right here in this third column. And then each of these assessments, right, have a weight of this much. So SA1 is worth 20% of the student's final grade, and he or she earns 78%. Okay, so here we have the weight and here we have the mark. So this here represents the W and here this represents X, okay? And we are trying to find the student's final mark. Okay, the student's final mark in the course. And to do that, we must apply a formula for weighted average. So recall in the weighted average formula, we have to first multiply by the weight, right? And then by the data value, which is the mark. And then here in the denominator, we must sum up all the weights. So we're summing all of these up, right? All the way to n, I is equal to 1, right? So the first weight times the first data value, second weight times the second data value, third weight times the third data value, fourth weight times the fourth data value, fifth weight times the fifth data value, just like that, okay? So here n is going to be 5, right? We have 5 different assessments. It's going to look something like this. So we multiply our first weight, the first marks are 20 times 78. Then we add, we do a second weight with the second mark, so 20 times 82, 20 times 82, just like that. And then we have to add, right? We are adding all these up because it's a sum. The third weight times the third mark, so 15 times 90, add that up. Test weight of 5 and mark of 92, 5 times 92. And lastly, the exam, the weight of 40 times the mark of 81. 40 times 81, just like that. As you can see here, we took the weight, right, and we multiplied by the x for each one. So this is W1, x1, W2, x2, W3, x3, right? We basically multiply them and then we add them all up. Just like we're doing here, we multiply them, use a summation symbol to denote that we have to add them all up. So now we have to add up all the w's as shown in the denominator. So I'm going to do that. So first w is 20, right? Add the second w, 20. Add the third w, fourth weight. And lastly, 40% for the exam. Okay, and then now we just have to multiply these together. So if you multiply these two numbers together, you get 1,560. Now 20 times 82, if you multiply these together, you get 1,640. Multiply 15 times 90, you get 1,350. Multiply 5 times 92, you will get 460. Multiply 40 times 81, you will get 3,240. And now we are going to add up the denominator. 20 plus 20 is 40. 40 plus 15 is 55. 55 plus 5 is 60. 60 plus 40 is 100. Okay, and then from here, if you add these numbers all up, you will get 8,250. This is all over 100. Now, if you divide by 100, you move the decimal place 2 spaces to the left, right? Because we have 2 zeros here, right? So 1, 2, okay. Here, the decimal place is going to land here in between the 2 and the 5, so 82.5. And this here is our weighted average, and so the student has earned 82.5% in the course. So thus, this is a student's course mark. So as you can see here, weighted average and weighted mean can be useful in terms of calculating a person's course marks. So if you want to know what you're getting in the course, or you want to estimate perhaps what you will end the course with if you, let's say, achieve a certain mark on the exam, and what certain mark you need on the exam to, let's say, pass a course, weighted average and weighted mean calculations can be very, very useful in helping one find out what marks they need in order to achieve their goals. So anyways, this is the end of my YouTube video. Thank you for watching. If this helped, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and furthermore, feel free to let me know in the comments down below what you think about this video, And of course, if you are new to my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I hope to see you next time for another math video. Bye!